Morning guys, it's prediction time and review time of last weekend's predictions and accumulator. I'm Dynzy1985 and welcome to the video and a late video. So apologies for not uploading the usual Friday evening video. I was in a bit of a rush and ended up having to go to a surprise birthday party, which meant I didn't get enough time to sort out the video as usual. So this is why I'm now doing it on Saturday morning. However, on Twitter, I did do a prediction for the Friday night football, which was 3-0 to Liverpool, and the actual score was 5-0. So, you know, another correct result to add to the list for next week's video. Anyway, so here are the predictions from last weekend. As you can see, perfect scores, we got 1 out of 10, and correct results, we managed to get 3 out of 10. Really pleased with the away draw for Brighton against Wolves. You know, it's just one of those, trying to grab any points we could possibly get leading up to the end of the season. We were really unlucky against Spurs. Yes, playing like that and begging for the team to throw chance after chance after chance is never ideal, especially away to Spurs. But when you get to like the 88th minute, you're kind of like, we can do it. And then Eriksen got into space, struck it, and it went in. It was just incredibly frustrating because if we had got the point, we would have earned the point, definitely, with the amount of defending that we were doing. But again, it's one of those, you can't expect to play like that and always hold out for 0-0. It was just one of those. Big game today against Newcastle at home. It's another must win, and it's the must win. If we don't win this game, which kicks off at 5:30, and I'm hoping Fulham can do us a big favour at 3 o'clock and beat Cardiff. But obviously, worst case scenario, you know, we could be level on points. You know, if we don't beat Newcastle and Newcastle beat us and Cardiff win, it's going to be very, very tough to, especially with Cardiff having Crystal Palace, I think, in the next fixture at home. So that's a game they'll be looking out to win, obviously. So tough times ahead. But if we can beat Newcastle and Cardiff lose the 3 o'clock game against Fulham, we'd be 6 points clear with 2 games to go. I will feel slightly more confident that we will survive and we will need to march on to next season and improve a lot and quickly as well. It's been frustrating with those 3 home defeats that we had, pretty much put us in this relegation dogfight, desperate for points now. So it has been quite frustrating. If we had won those games, we wouldn't be sat here concerned about Cardiff right now, but unfortunately we are where we are. We haven't been good enough, so we got to fight it out to the end. So anyway, so moving on to the accumulator. 2 teams let us down. No, actually 3 teams let us down. Bournemouth obviously lost, West Ham lost, and Chelsea drew at home. Is what it is. Moving on to the predictions for obviously this weekend. Obviously we did predict yesterday's game, but obviously we're now showing you the rest of the predictions today. So the midday game, Spurs at home against West Ham. We're going for a 2-0 victory for Spurs. And then we've got the 3 o'clock, so Palace at home to Everton. We're going for a 1-1 draw. And then we've got Fulham against Cardiff. Come on, Fulham, please. We're going for a 1-0 win to Fulham. Shock. And then we've got Southampton at home to Bournemouth. We're going for a 2-0 victory to Southampton, who are on great form right now. Watford at home against Wolves. We're going for a 2-1 victory to Watford. And then the big game, obviously, Brighton versus Newcastle. We are going for a 1-0 victory to Brighton. Fingers crossed the boys can do it and pull out this big 3 points out of the hat. And then Sunday's fixtures, we've got Leicester at home against Arsenal. We're going to go for a 2-1 victory to Leicester. And then we've got Burnley at home against Manchester City. We're going for a 2-1 away win for Manchester City. And then we've got Manchester United at home to Chelsea. We're going for a 1-0 victory to Manchester United. just, if Chelsea weren't in such bad form themselves, you know, I think it would be Chelsea could pull the result out of the hat, because obviously Man United aren't doing really well, especially with their wonderful performance against City. Thanks. You know, United can squeeze a 1-0 result, but it could easily be a 0-0 ball draw. So wait and see. And yeah, so those are the predictions, and then the accumulator for this weekend, as you can see, Southampton at home against Bournemouth, Watford at home against Wolves, Middlesbrough at home against Reading, West Brom at home against Rotherham, and then Barnsley at home against Blackpool, and then Accrington Stanley at home against Plymouth. The odds on that are 43.25 to 1. We've put a £3 bet on that, and if that comes in, it's £132.74. Isn't that right, Barley? Yeah, I'm talking to you. No, just go look at me and wonder. Oh, you good girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. Anyway, so those are the accumulators. Also, That Peter Crouch podcast, this week it was That Refs episode. So all about the wonderful jobs that refs do. Most of the time. Yeah, moving on. And also Carl, who's ever so popular on That Peter Crouch podcast, is now doing his own podcast. That Carl podcast, Carl Productions, wonderful production team. And this episode, it's a 10-minute episode, and it's about things that beep us off. So you can obviously see what the word actually is. Good old YouTube. Anyway, so that is the end of the video for now. I hope you all have a good weekend. Fingers crossed for your own accumulators that come in. And that'll do for now. Cheers!